Twin Peaks in this bitch. Melly got her old channel back. YouTube gave me my old channel, but wiped over my videos. Who killed Sarah Palmer? How was it you? Was it you? I bet it was you. It's Cannoli After Dark. Shh, everything's fine. It's a late night stream. We're gonna take it easy. We're gonna unwind with a glass of wine. Maybe a little snack or two. I'm eating hard, bro. Okay. Alright. I'm just eating gummy candy, so it doesn't really fit the narrative for the vibe I'm going for tonight. It's very scary, Taffy J. It's very... What am I doing? It's Friday. It's Friday. I had some R&R time with the lady. I said, let me do a Cannoli After Dark. I want some spooky, maybe some conspiracy spooky stories, I'm drinking Grey Goose and Dr. Pepper Zero. Shit. That's right, Ems. You just keep your ass where you are. Alright, anyways. You guys know about the ghost signal theory? Have you heard about that? Have you heard about that? Where instead of like spirits haunting like old houses and cemeteries and abandoned buildings and shit, that the spirits are trapped in like electromagnetic frequencies. Remember that movie White Noise? It's really just M's yapping for an hour while supply and demand enjoys dinner. Joey, your sound is coming out of your computer. It doesn't sound like your normal mic. Maybe it's spooky, Mel. Maybe it's spooky. Duncan couldn't last 10 minutes without bringing up grape. We made it 9 minutes. Thank you, Dunk. Abortion. Sounds fine to me. So there was a movie called White Noise, even like Poltergeist. Or in the hood, Poultrygeist. It's where there's a chicken killing everybody. Look it up. I swear to God, this is a real thing. Anyways. So, you guys remember many moons back, we used to have analog TV, which is such horseshit, by the way. When they switched to digital, and you'd try to watch a football game, and it'd be raining, your TV would cut in and out. It was just absolutely, positively the worst. Go watch normal TV. To this day, it sucks. We need to go back to the analog days. It's the third greatest night of the week. How you doing, Charlie? But yeah, we're gonna share some spooky stories, some Cannoli After Dark, some Freaky Friday. We're gonna have a good time. So I was doing some research, and they're saying that when TV networks, when they did the switch, I'm an analog boy, millions of unused frequencies suddenly went silent, right? And that's when all this paranormal sightings like spiked. Almost like open, think of it like a spectrum, right? Not that kind. But like, am I the only person that kind of gets on, like kind of freaked out by what, like static? Am I the only one that like, you hear voices? You ever hear voices like radios, walkie-talkies? Those fucking baby monitors, right? Imagine you hear a phantom voice on your baby monitor. Are you kidding me? Spence is saying, I'm only scared of one thing. Becca's gunt. Yeah. No doubt. I like the idea of EVPs, electronic voice phenomenons, like capturing phantom noises that, our human ear doesn't pick up. So we record it and we listen back. Something about that is, I don't know, I think that's like the best evidence of supernatural shit. just phantom voices. Now, we used to do seances, real white devil shit years back. And we put the phone in the middle of the table and we would put on the sound recorder and we would ask questions, right? So my grandmother's house, I shit you not, totally haunted. Something about the computer room, the spare room, everyone felt it. My aunts, my uncles, my cousins, my family. There was just something that would draw you to that room. If you were sitting at the kitchen table, depending where you were, you could see into the room. It was very distracting. My grandpa at the time, he used to play his PC gambling slot machine games, right? I mean, that was like his man cave. He spent 24/7 in this room, right? Patty mayonnaise, I see white people, correct. Until one day, he stopped going in there. My grandma asked him, hey, what happened? Why don't you go in the room anymore? He didn't answer her. He didn't say anything. What's up, Cap? So a lot of weird shit started happening. There used to be this map that was held up by pushpins. And one day, one of my family members walked into the room because they have a mini fridge in there where they keep the water. And here's the map with all the pushpins taken out of it. Spooky shit, right? Just why? For what? Real miscellaneous, like things being moved in the room to different areas, just like, for what? For what? This is a spooky story. This is a true story, matter of fact. And we would always do seances. Yeah, we're gonna get some s'mores. You want to join? You can join. You can join. But you better keep it real monotone. Real, I don't want any eccentric activities. Okay? Nice and cozy. Just the way we like it. Where was I? So anyways, this room was creepy. I never slept in it. Mama Cannoli would always sleep in it. I used to sleep in the living room. I had such a big ass family that all the beds were always taken. So luckily I never had the displeasure of sleeping into this phantom room. A few times. I can count on probably one hand how many times I slept in this room. Anyways, this room had this closet. And it was like a deep closet too. It was one of those real like fucking Chronicles of Narnia type shit, Like I didn't know this closet was so deep. I can think of a few things where I've said that, Anyways, so this closet just gave off creepy fucking vibes, really unsettling vibes. One day I'm sitting around the table with my family, we're doing a seance, and all of a sudden, we feel this thud come from under the house. Like someone banged it with a sledgehammer. Now my grandma has it's like a trailer home, but not like a trailer, like a dumpy trailer, but like a nice trailer home. And something underneath that bitch went boom while we were like directly underneath where we were sitting. Scared the living shit out of all of us. This is the same closet where Styx puts his gay pride flag. We support the gays. Live in your truth, right? Live out loud. Anyways, so we went flying. Right, slowly I turned step by step, inch by inch. I see what you did there, Mel. We're sitting at the table. This thud comes from underneath, like the floor in the kitchen. We go flying. All of a sudden, it's just like dead silent. You know what I mean? You ever feel that pulse in your ass? Pause. You ever feel like your heart beat in your ass? Does that make sense? Where you're just kind of sitting there and you can feel it, your ass pulsing. Pause. I think you know what I'm talking about. I don't want you guys to take the context. Speaking of asses pulsating, Jesus.
Hi.
Right away, you're loud. You come in here. Hi. What is this? Couldn't you just? Okay,
Sorry.
it's
Sorry, I'll
fine.
be quiet. I'm
Right.
quiet. I'm quiet now.
Okay. What the fuck? I
Okay.
lost what I was.
The f-
Anyways,
I'm sorry.
listen. Enough of this tomfoolery.
Uh-huh.
So let me sum the story up because I have a bunch of others I want to tell.
Okay.
One day, a couple years back, maybe 2 years, I think my aunt or my uncle went into the closet in that room, cleaned it out. It had never been cleaned out since my grandmother and grandpa moved in there. It's been 20 years they've been living in this place.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, my God, Lucas Poe, fuck, Pozarks, Caucasoids. My ass hasn't quivered like this since Hanson. Listen, they remastered Hanson, so if you want to feel that quivering asshole again, yeah, no more hijinks. Yeah, not throbbing, but pulsating. More like you missed that guy. White people like to tell stories. Like white people, particularly, they're always like trying to tell a story. They're always trying to tell a story, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like they just like you like the yap.
I,
You just like the yap. I don't know.
but I have a spooky story too, and I feel
All right, well, let me sum this up.
I'll let you finish yours.
They're cleaning out the closet, Eminem style.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think they find in the closet?
A dead body.
Close.
What?
My grandpa's brother's ashes.
Oh my
So what
god.
happened is he was an awful person. He was an awful person. Okay, I'm not gonna say what he did, but he was not a good person. And when he died, his kids didn't want anything to do with him. They didn't even want his ashes, so they gave him to his brother. Okay, well, guess what? I don't
What?
even think for 20 some odd years they knew his ashes were in that closet. My uncle took his ashes out back and buried him behind the garage. After that, hand to God. After that, no more super fucking paranormal activity. No
Really?
more creepy. Seriously, it was like someone opened the window and that heaviness, that stuffiness, right,
Just kind of went whoosh.
was gone. So now, and this has been 2 years now, whenever my mana and Jew or my family go there, you no longer feel. Yeah, I probably told this story before. I probably told this story before. I hope
That's,
not, man, though. Fuck.
that's so like, ooh, I don't like that. That's giving me the heebie-jeebies.
So, like, and this is like a true, like, it's a true story. And there's been multiple creepy things. He liked to cause havoc even in death. I think it was just an energy. I think his soul or spirit or something was attached. Obviously it's his ashes, and I don't know. He just needed a proper burial, or he needed to be. Maybe he didn't want to be cremated. Maybe he wanted to be buried. Maybe it was unfinished fodder. Musty ashes. And when they buried him, all of it stopped. Like, we'll still fuck around and have seances just because it's fun. It's kind of nostalgic. It's not like, black magic or white magic or the white devil shit. But it's like, there's nothing anymore. There's no creepiness. However, something happened to my grandpa that
Oh,
scared the shit out of him, and he never went back in that room. To this day, that room is just for company. It's just a spare bedroom. It used to be his computer room. He spent all day in that place. And to this day, he won't tell any of us what happened. I think he's seen something. Something happened that scared the shit out.
happened.
Right.
Definitely
So,
spooky as fuck, man.
and
Oh,
something about my mom's side and her grandmother, like the house they lived in previously on the north side in the city was haunted. And that was the house, like, They had a basement. They would always have Christmas parties with the family. My mother's side of the family is huge, you know.
Mhm.
And that house was fucking haunted. But we're gonna
Okay.
have you tell your story. But I always think of that. I think of like the ashes and him being buried, and just right after that was done, you could just feel a complete cleanse, a complete difference. It's very strange.
Oh.
It's very strange.
It's always weird, like, his soul was obviously trapped in that closet, and he obviously was not happy about it.
It was like in that room, in that closet, and since, you know, I'm not saying it was good energy. It didn't feel good. It felt bad. It felt ugh, you know,
Like, bad
gross.
energy?
Yeah, exactly.
Angry energy.
So yeah, spooky tales from the Midwest, like always. Dude, the Midwest is so. There's a great book called Haunted Heartland. Shout outs to the America's Heartland. There is so much supernatural shit, especially like Native American stuff. You know why the Indians
Burial
were
grounds and stuff?
the Indians were here first because they had reservations. You know what I mean? They called ahead,
Mhm,
and there's a lot of like native, you know, reservations around here,
yeah,
and the places, the names, and everything. You know, like Milwaukee,
mhm,
Warsaw, Manitowoc, Menominee. You know what I mean? Shit
mhm.
like Cannoli.
Spooky.
Yeah, spooky. So
Ugh, that's actually gave me the
it got
heebie-jeebies.
the heebie-jeebies. I don't know if he was knocking the floor, but like there was just weird shit. So like we picked up a EVP. This ties back into the electronic voice phenomenon. We heard a voice saying my aunt's name, and it
Mhm.
was evil, creepy shit. You know, like, and like she turned white as a caucus, that like as white as Lucas Poe. You know, just classic white. And she tried blaming me, and we're all holding hands, and she's saying I did it, and I'm thinking the phone's in the center of the table. How the fuck did I do it? Saying it was me talking into it. She didn't want to believe that whatever she did in her past. Correct, Luke. She didn't want to believe that whatever happened or whoever this individual, like, it was really unsettling.
I
It
don't
was,
like things like that. I don't like feeling scared, and my sister used to prey on that all the time. Like,
yeah.
all the time. Like, there's, a loch that we used to go to when I was a little girl, right? And on this, like, loch, there was, like, an old cabin sort of thing. It was, like, a really rundown it was definitely a cottage at some point for, like, the farmers. Um, and we used to, like, go up to this cottage, rundown cottage thing, and that's where we would play. And my gran had told me a story about the Loch Doon pilot, which was
Mm,
basically, like, a pilot crashed into the loch, like, in the Second World War,
okay.
and they didn't find him until, like, 2008,
Damn.
and they decided the family were like, "Keep him there. He's been there for so long, just put him back."
Just leave him.
And yeah, just leave him, like, "Fuck it, we don't care anymore," sort of thing. So they left the pilot there, and like, where they found him was just, like, maybe half a mile away from this little cabin, and when I was a little girl, we used to play in the cabin, and my sister would, like, pretend to make spooky noises around the back of it, and this
So
one
when
time
you
we
say
were up, and I
spooky noises,
so she would go, like, "Ooh," and, like, step on leaves and crunch twigs and stuff behind it.
shit, like Blair Witch style, like fucking.
Yeah, like, she would terrify me, but there was this one time that we were there for I think it was the summer, we went for the whole summer, so we were there for, like, a good 8 weeks. Um,
Give me
and we
8
were,
weeks.
like, stood give me 8 weeks, shouts. Um, we were stood me, my sister, and then one of the friends I had made were stood in the middle of it, and we hear this sort of, like, snap, and we're like we're in the middle of nowhere. It's probably like a sheep running past or something. So we go out to look. Nothing there. I'm like, "Was that you?" Like, to my sister, thinking she'd snapped something, like, behind her arm. She's like,
Mm.
"No, she's, like, is a ghost. She is terrified." And that's when I knew it was my turn to be terrified, because if she was scared, then she didn't do it. So, we are terrified. We go running back to our gran, and my gran is laughing at us because she thinks we're lying. So we're like, "No, no, no, come up, come on, come up, come see what we're talking about. Come, come, come." So we take our gran up, and we just stand there for a minute, and my gran sits down on like a little bit of like a wall, and she's like, "Use are talking shite. Like, what the fuck are yous on about?" Lights up a cigarette, and then no quicker than she has lit it, the cigarette is wet.
No.
Like, from the rain, not
Yeah.
from like,
Not
nothing
from.
t the cigarette is soggy, it was dry when she lit it, and then it went
And then it went
sopping.
well. Shit.
And, ever since then, I have not returned to that cottage. I think someone
You
bought
should.
it and is turning it into
You
a
should.
house now, but, like, they can deal with that bad juju because 'cause I'm not dealing with that.
Oh my god.
What?
The wet cigarette. I like the way that rolls off my tongue. The wet cigarette.
Like, the
So
way they're
Mel's on about building an old tobacco farm. If you
Mhm.
had a farm, there was some plantation going on. There's no doubt in my mind.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think I think supply's onto something. Speaking of supply, yeah, we do need some sage up in this bitch. Luke is saying you guys need to purchase a Bible. Pray and eat more bacon. That sounds very American of Luke.
Mm,
Dark spirits, yeah, like dark spirits. Speaking of dark spirit supply, so this is not a joke, by the way. The Myrtle Plantation Mirror, true story.
yeah.
This is in Louisiana. One of the
Mhm.
most like hot spots in the U.S. There was a slave named Chloe who was
Uh-huh.
caught eavesdropping, and they had and she was punished by having her ear cut.
Oh my god. Okay.
So she seeks revenge, allegedly, and she poisons the family's food.
Oh my god.
But she ends up fucking up and killing the wrong people. So she ends up being hanged by the other slaves.
Uh-huh.
So there's all these reports of people seeing a woman with a green turban um, in this mirror. And handprints have appeared on the glass, even after they clean it. There's photographs taken that show figures of women and kids behind people. The mirror to this day is still on display. Anyone can visit it. Look it up. It's the Myrtle Plantation. Not a joke. Joey's favorite story. This is a true story. Look it up. I'm
This is
serious.
scary.
It's fucking scary, man.
I
But
believe you.
shit, you gotta stop. Wait. That's zesty festy. We got no time for snow bunny love. You gotta wait, Ems. You gotta wait. It's no time
I
for
didn't
snow
mean to
bunny.
turn my camera on there, and I gave myself a jump scare because I'm so freaked out right
Like,
now.
you scared the. I actually thought you were a ghost at first. You look like a fucking spirit. That was
That's because
terrifying.
I'm on my laptop. I look very
Okay, because yeah,
pale.
you had like some kind of whitewashed look about you. You looked very
Yeah, it's
kind
the
of
laptop.
Caucasian. Okay, I thought maybe you were doing like a geisha look. You know when they do the geisha look.
No.
I've only known the ones I've read or Luke. There was a plantation not that long ago. Enough of this. I don't want to
I
talk.
My mum used to work like, so when my mum was first becoming an admin officer, she worked for the admin bit of an asylum that we like. I live quite close to it now.
Mm,
And it had been there, like, it had been a staple of the town for like literally centuries. Like, it had just been refurbished. It was just like, it was the same building, same grounds, same everything. And there was like a, a room on the third floor that no one would go into, and like no one would touch it. And my mum, being the nosy bitch that she is like, what the fuck? Like, can it be that bad? Surely not. And my
yeah.
mum's like my age at this point, so she's really young, naive, stupid.
Are
And
you
she goes,
I can't tell if you're praising yourself or what.
No,
She's
I'm
clean,
also as strict. I
young,
would do
nice.
the exact same thing.
Okay, go ahead.
I would do it as well. Um, so she was like she goes up to this room on the 3rd floor, and originally she's like, "Oh, this is nothing. It was just like a bunch of dusty files and filing cabinets and things like that. You know, the usual things you would find in a room that's not being used." And then the door shuts, and she thinks fire door, they all shut, but then she can't get out. Like she's opening the door, she's like playing with
Yeah.
the handle. She's like, this is an issue. I can't get out. And this was before everyone had a cell phone. So then my mum is just banging on the door on a floor full of people that are mentally unstable. So
Oh
no one
God.
bats an eye. No one bats an eye. And my mum's stuck in that room for like a good 20 minutes until her manager is like, where the fuck is she? And the people she worked with was like, oh, she was way up to the 3rd floor. She's feeling brave.
Yeah.
And ever since then, my mum's like, I refuse to go back to that place. I refuse to go past it. Like she goes around it instead of just driving past the doors because she's terrified of it. And my mum's not scared of a lot, but ever since that, she's just not doing
Damn.
it. That scares me because we are very close to it as well. And I don't know if she's like brought some bad juju with us.
I always bring some bad juju with me. Wow.
I love juju.
I love you. Stick
Ugh.
Schlonghammer's a goat. Really? Okay.
It's weird.
Honey, no. Honey hasn't. No, you meant to say honey. Honey hasn't been around since he read that poem. He's hiding his. Yeah, I think there's like. I think mentally, Sticks has got a lot going on. His last
Mm,
few appearances were a bit unsettling. You know, he was in like a headspace that was unusual for him for us. I mean, maybe for him it's common, but uh,
oh,
somebody. No, I don't think anyone put it right there. We're not even at. We're only at 33 minutes.
oh
Um,
my scary stories, Joey.
I blame MC for having Valerie in my head all day. Cursed karaoke 2 times. I don't even think Supply commented yesterday, but he
I think he
watched.
did.
Did he? I can't
I think
remember.
I don't know.
Yeah, last night was nice though. There's some good karaoke.
It was some nice singing.
There's some nice singing. So I got to. This is another true story, not supernatural, but just something to give you the fucking skeevies.
Oh
And a
god.
lot of people have covered this. I've seen the actual video. This takes place in fucking Japan. All right, there was this guy in Japan living in this apartment, and
Mhm.
his food kept fucking disappearing from his fridge. Like, actually, I know. So you do know it kept disappearing from his fridge. He eventually set up a hidden camera. One day while he's at work, this like I don't know what they're called, like a trap door in the ceiling
That's
opens
the
up.
li
Yeah, and this fucking broad crawls out. The
yeah,
grudge,
and she couldn't sing.
the grudge. I'm talking like fucking Mitsubishi Toshima Sashimi. Like you remember that? You remember that shit?
Yeah, I watched that the other day.
Okay, you seen that the other day, so you know what I'm talking about. She
Yeah.
fucking was crawling out of this motherfucker, like
Don't like that.
living in this crawl space, and starts eating. There was a makeshift bed, blankets, water bottles. The bitch even had a fucking lamp. She had a fucking lamp. You look like you could use a fucking lamp. And then
That's
she admitted the scariest part, she was living there for almost a fucking year before we figured it out.
that's so scary though, the thought that someone could be living
In
in your
your
house,
home.
you wouldn't even know. Like,
Imagine he wakes up in the middle of the night, he's just getting topped off. Like, what do you
why
do? Like, think about it. Like, I don't.
did you take it there? It did not need to be taken there.
Well, it was a female. You don't think she watched him shower, watched him beat his meat? Are you kidding me?
Maybe
Like,
not.
well,
Most likely not.
I don't think anyone's ever. Maybe we should ask her.
Do you want me
Karate
to
Kid.
phone her right now?
I don't even think she. So whatever happened to her? But
I think
imagine
they
you just wake up, she's getting topped off. She was real. She was not a ghost.
yeah, it was a real person. It was a big it was quite a few years ago now.
I'm sorry, I didn't
But
read this comment. I do apologize. I swear I saw this black guy. One hand was a hook, and every time he farted, bees shot out of his ass. It sounds like a deleted scene in Candyman parody. What is going on here? These aren't white devil stories. That's a true story. The woman in the closet. This happened in 2008. This is a real story. Look it up.
I like to like the true crime, but like it's the weird ones. Like there was this. We're talking about Japan now, so I'm talking about Japan. There was this boy in Japan in the 80s who was obsessed with the thought, like obsessed with this one girl, but he wasn't in love with her and like, oh my god, she's so pretty. He was like, I want to know what she tastes like. I want to eat her. So then when he was like, I want to say he was about 8, he decapitates her. He kidnaps her from the park, decapitates her, and puts her spike, like her head on a spike outside the school.
What? This is
And then,
real?
mhm. And then he takes her head, or the rest of her body, sorry, takes it home, hides it under his bed, and just eats it.
What?
Like he just takes little bites out of it every so often. And then he realizes, shit, this is decomposing. So he puts it all in a bin bag. And then he like puts it in some bushes somewhere to like get rid of it. And they find it and they're like, oh my god, who did this? They're thinking they're looking for an adult murderer, like, you know, someone that's old enough to have a knife.
Yeah,
And it
yeah.
was an 8-year-old. But apparently, like when he
Hey,
was before he had done, like he was a kid. But apparently before he had done this, his grandma had died, and
no.
he had kept his grandma's head. Like he hadn't told the police that she was dead. She died in the house. He again
What?
decapitated her, kept her head, and had sexual relationships with his grandma's head, and would
Why?
like, comb her hair. I don't know. He was fucked
Why?
up. I don't
Oh,
know.
oh my God. Why does it always have to turn sexual?
I know.
It's one
I
thing to
know.
eat a head. How do you have sex with a head?
And he was so proud of all of these things because he was like, "This is just who I am." And I spent so much like because he went to jail,
Sounds like a
but
zesty festy. He was a zesty. We got, listen,
mm,
I don't
in
even,
denial.
since the early days of Mel's plantation evolution, he caused us to use the fart gas for energy like ketones, like keto Guido. Zesty. Listen, get Dave the fuck out of the camera. All right, get Dave out of the camera. Okay. All right. So here's another true story, and I've seen it. Shane Dawson talked about this. Hot sex with grandma's crazy, Mel. So the Cecil Hotel, which has been inspired, has inspired. Settle down,
This is my
bitch.
shit. This is my shit right here.
Oh, 2013. I've watched this video 1,000 times. There's this young woman named Elisa Lamb, like Lamb Chop. She goes into this elevator. She's acting fucking sus. She's acting like you know this bitch. I thought watching it that she was high, like she was under some sort of like kind of hallucinogen, maybe. You know, either that or maybe maybe she got her period. I couldn't tell. All right. Well, yeah,
I've
hormones.
never done what she did on my period, Joey. I've
You
never done it.
if I had you saw the elevator video. Listen. Supply. I ain't fucking dog. The doors refuse to close. She starts pressing all these buttons. She steps out of the elevator. She looks left. She looks right, and then she hides as if someone's coming. It looks like a scene out of a movie. Then she starts moving her arms all fucking crazy, interacting with something that ain't there, which is why I thought she
Move
was hot.
over, she moves
Yeah.
over as if someone's coming into the
Yep,
lift.
yep. Like someone's walking into the elevator. 2 weeks later, 2 weeks later, the people in the hotel start complaining about the water tasting strange. This is a true story, by the way. The fucking maintenance finds her body inside one of the water tanks on the roof. The thing is, to reach it, you needed to have access to a locked door. There was an alarm. You had to lift a 40-pound tank lid, climb the ladder. No alarms went off. There was no explanation given. But the whole conspiracy is that she was playing the elevator game, which is like a ritual thing that takes you to another dimension.
Yeah.
Official
it's like
quote.
the Charlie challenge and shit
Yeah.
like that.
Long story short, accidental drowning. So she accessed the locked door with an alarm, climbed a ladder, lifted the lid. Bitch just dropped in there.
Maybe she
Supply
wants
door.
to laugh.
A lot of
But like
people
it's
go to that hotel.
yeah, there's a lot of paranormal
Pansexuals. Oh, okay.
activity in that hotel in general.
It is.
But that was like the one that like swept the internet because I remember hearing about that on the news.
I want
Like
supply. I want supply to stay. You know what really fucks with me? The fact
what?
that people were drinking her decomposing body.
Brushing their teeth with it, showering with it,
Showering?
flushing their shit with it.
Well, right. At least,
I don't like that. I
isn't
don't
it
like that.
crazy? Isn't that crazy? What does something like that even taste like?
Ass, probably.
Well,
I just try to think of another one. I had another one in my head, but then you talked about Elisa Lam and I got distracted. The hotel that The Shining is based on,
correct. And
like
I'm a humongous
covered.
paranormal, right? I'm a huge Stephen King fan. I love The Shining, The Stanley Hotel,
So,
Decomposed Ass.
like, apparently there was a maid that accidentally blew herself up when she was changing the gas lamps in the Stanley Hotel, and now she just runs about the hotel, like the floor that she died on, asking people if they want their bedding changed.
I would say yes.
I would be like, yeah, yeah, sure, why not?
Listen, I've seen Casper. I believe in unfinished business. You know what I mean?
If you
MCAT.
died, what would your unfinished business?
What would my unfinished business be?
Mm-hmm. Also, true supply.
By proxy, yes. You've been to the Stanley Hotel? Have you actually been? I have seen Dark Water, Mandel. It was just a middle-aged man shitting himself in a jacuzzi for 2 hours. Um, but I have been to Joey's unfinished business would be to tell everyone that it was really him that did that in the sink. That's bullshit.
I
That's
think it
bullshit.
was you that did it in the sink, and you're just blaming Binks
If
because
the,
it's
don't
empty.
don't you guys think the wife would throw me under the bus if I actually shit? You think she'd give me a shit?
Not if she didn't know, not if she believed it was
Do
Binks,
you
but
know
I
what
don't.
a cat size shit looks like compared to a grown man shit? Can
Yes,
we
I
really
have
have
a cat.
okay? I'd like you to take a shit, Ems, and then take a picture of the cat shit, and I'll try to guess which is which.
I'm not gonna shit in the litter box though.
I bet you would.
No, I've never shat in a litter box.
All right. This one, the lobby's small. It was 22 years ago, huh? Valerie, settle
Really?
down, supply. This takes place in the 70s. Okay, there was a
Okay.
patient, and this was a nurse's incident report, by the way. So there was a patient in a room. The room was 337. They passed during the night. Later that evening, the nurse that was on shift, on call, whatever you want to call it, saw a man in a hospital gown walking down the elevator.
Mhm.
Tells him, hey, you need to check out before leaving, yada yada. He ignores her. She follows him to the elevator. He turns, smiles, the door's closed. This fucker had no reflection in the elevator's mirror.
I
She
don't
goes
like.
she goes back to her nurse's station, and the fucking sign out sheet had a signature that hadn't been there earlier, and it was the dead patient's name. The elevator camera showed the nurse talking to an empty fucking elevator.
Mm-mm. I'm
Bruh,
going.
here, could you imagine?
Oh,
Could you fucking imagine? The fucker smiled, signed it, and then said, "All right, I'm gonna head out."
I'm away to heaven. See you later. Bye.
That's dog had to catch an elevator to go to heaven. That's crazy.
He didn't want to walk up the stairs.
All right, this fucker was lazy in the afterlife. Long story short, I always get creeped out about the elevate, like the camera showing like her talking to like an empty elevator.
I hate it. I hate looking at CCTV footage of people in elevators anyway. But see, the Elisa Lam one,
I've
ugh,
watched that 100 times.
I've watched it so
I've
much
like
because I used to
studied
watch
that video.
Jonathan's, like, spooky video all the time. I used to watch it like so much because I was obsessed with him. But that whole like the way she's like darting in and out, and she's like kicking, and she's like, oh, mm-mm, 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 mm-mm. I don't like it.
Fuck.
Ugh. I also there's one in I think it's Korea, and it was again a soldier, but it was like these people lived in like have you seen Parasite?
Yes. Yeah, yeah, where they
Right.
had the
You know,
basement
like
and
the
all.
house, the basement
Yes,
house
yes, yes, yes. That was
where
a
the people
great.
live in. So this dude lived in one of these houses, and he lived there for ages and ages and ages and ages. Like he'd like lived there basically his whole life. And you know, his neighbors were a bit like they were like, oh, he's just a bit weird. Like he doesn't do much. And so one day his neighbors are like, there's a strange smell coming from his house. What is it? They called the police to do like a check just in case he was dead. Turns out he had moved out quite a while ago, and this young woman had moved in with her baby. And they're like, what is this smell? They still don't really know what the smell is, so they keep going.
Mm.
And like they leave it at that. Like she'd moved out, she'd moved in, whatever. Turns out she'd killed him, moved into his house, and left his body in a big like oil drum type thing, plastic oil drum, in one of the bedrooms, and just left him, and they never thought to check it.
Damn. Damn.
Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm.
Duncan's one of those guys that get drunk and then goes into the kitchen at 3 a.m. and tries to fight spirits.
He fights a bottle of vodka.
That's why they call them spirits, right? Uh, I visited a nursing home. The elevator was out of order. It was stuck on the first floor because the door kept closing and reopening like someone was caught between it. The maintenance guy looked horrified. I laughed. It's just like kind of electric, like malfunctions is strange. You know what I mean? Like, I love this spooky paranormal night with Casper and Ems. Hell yeah. Hey, hear me out. So I got another hotel story. This takes place in Spain. Room 2. I'm always fascinated because motels specifically just give me weird vibes. You don't know the people that who's coming, who's going, what's happened to them, the energy, are they good? You know what I mean? Like you get all these different walks of life, right? I mean, you don't know who slept in that bed before you. I
Yeah,
don't give a fuck about
especially
clean
with like
sheets.
old rundown ones, like old rundown hotels. My biggest fear.
Can we just have another karaoke night? This is scary, Valerie.
But sometimes I go out by myself.
Into what alcohol, bro. Look, hotels or motels creep me the fuck out. You can wash the sheets. I don't give a fuck about that. Just like I feel like places contain we are energy. Places contain energy. And
Yeah,
there's certain places that you go to and you're like I need to get the fuck out of here. Like I don't know why. I don't like it. I'm just getting fucking it's giving me the fucking shits, I need to get the fuck out. There's so much fuck shit that goes on that we don't know about. That whenever I drive, and I was driving yesterday, and I seen a motel with like an ambulance, and I go, someone's fucking dead. That someone had
100.
to. Yeah, either that or OD. Right? People go there, they fucking shoot up. Anyways, so I know a lot like of hotel stories. So this was room 219. All right, and the guests were complaining about hearing loud furniture dragging. The front desk calls to room. They call the room. Whoever was there answered. It was a dude. Tells him I'll stop. The noise continues. They send security up there. Guess what happens?
What?
The room's completely empty. No guest had checked into that room. The phone in the room wasn't connected. To this day, the people in the hotel refuse to put any guests in that room unless it's completely full. And that makes me think of 1408, which is a great it's Steve, I think it's Stephen King as well. But John Cusack, I'm a big John Cusack fan. I love the movie 1408. Because you not seen 1408?
Trying to think.
It's almost like if The Shining like had a baby.
Actually.
Like if The Shining, so it takes place in another haunted hotel, but it's just a room, and the room is evil, and everyone that checks into it dies. They either kill
Yes, yes,
themselves, they jump out the
absolutely.
window.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
fucking love 1408. That story reminds me of 1408. Sam Jackson was in it. He was the manager. Fucking amazing movie. Great ending. John Cusack fucking nails it. It's like then there's like a lot of trauma involved with his family and his daughter. I definitely recommend that movie.
I think one that scares me the most is living. You know how you guys have like trailers? Like I live in a caravan, but you've got trailers like double wides and stuff.
So that's what I was talking about with my grandmother. Like my grandma doesn't live in a caravan; she lives in a trailer home,
Mm-hmm.
and not in a trailer park, but like up north, like in the wood. Like it's a beautiful home. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, yeah, John Cusack in the '80s was peak. That house, well, she lives there currently. That room was fucked, and when they buried my grandpa's brother's ashes, everything stopped. It's been 2 years of nothing.
Oh, a body washed up in this shorefront, not too far away from me the other day.
Damn,
Mm.
that's tough.
And I was taking Pongo a walk actually because I'm nosy. Again, hi, Emma, nice to meet you. I like to know what's happening. So put Pongo in the car, took him a walk to have a wee look, and there was no joke 5 ambulances there and like a squad of policemen, and they were all just kind of standing looking at the body because from the way it looked, it was not decomposed, but it was old, like it was preserved from the sea, like from the
Yeah,
salt.
yeah. The salt kept it from
Yeah.
decomposing as fast.
But like they were like, who the fuck is this? What the fuck? How did this? So now they're working on trying to like identify the person because it could have came from anywhere. It could have came from like England. It could have came from Ireland. It could have came from fucking France. Like it could have came from
What was it?
anywhere.
An adult body, male, female? Like, what's the? Do you know?
They think it's a female, I believe,
Fuck,
but
dude,
they're struggling with the age on her.
I've seen some fucked up shit, and I've seen like a body pulled out of the water. I do not recommend.
My
Like
cousin
when
put
it's bloated,
body.
and like fish were eating it. It looks like a fucking movie. Like it doesn't even look real. It looks like a practical effect. Like your brain immediately wants to switch it off and be like, I ain't
Yeah,
this shit ain't real. Um,
your body,
I
like your body,
I would do
still,
that, Kinger. Exactly, exactly. They have
like
haunted hotels in Chicago, 24-hour stream. I would do it for the right price.
I think my cousin. I think I've told this on stream before, but apparently, like I don't remember this. This has all just been told to me. But apparently, my cousin and his then girlfriend took me for like a walk around the woods around where they used to live, up near Edinburgh. And my cousin was like poking about in the woods with a big stick. He must have been about 23, and he's just poking things because man with stick, you're gonna poke, and he
Yeah,
pokes things like
Neanderthal activities coming
yeah,
out.
it's like
Caveman.
man.
Yeah, we resort
So
back to our primal instincts when we're in the nature.
yeah, man with stick, things are gonna get poked.
Yeah, say,
He's
hey, I've done some poking in my day, right?
he's poking about
The fuck?
he's poking about in this like embankment of woods, like wooded areas. So like there's a little river and then there's this like bit and it's just pure woods. But there's like a little lip in it where it's like being carved out from people like walking like that. So he's like poking about in there, just poking shit, looking for like alcohol and just seeing what people have been up to. And he
Yeah.
pokes this pile of blankets
Oh hell! First of all, why is there a pile of blankets in the woods?
Uh-huh. He pokes it, and then he pokes it again. And then he takes the stick and tries to grab the corner of the blanket to like unravel it.
There's a fucking body in there.
It was a dead body. It was a girl he had went to school with that had been murdered by her ex-boyfriend.
This is fucking Twin Peaks. Stop. What do you?
He found the body.
Go on. I'm gonna put the music
Right
on.
there, Joey. I physically jumped.
The music's scary. I don't know. It sounded like Twin Peaks. We'll have the music on. Is the music quiet?
Music's quiet.
Okay. Because I love this theme. Like the theme. I want it on as we tell stories.
So he like pokes this and grabs the stick and like grabs the edge of the blanket, and it just tumbles out in front of us. And I'm little, so I'm like trying to grab at it, and he's trying to push me back while he's like trying to phone the police on the other hand. And I'm like, oh my god, things to touch. And so basically we had to wait there for about 4 hours until the police like came and they moved it all, and then we got questioned, and they tried to question me, but I was just like a kid. But he still refuses to walk around that part of the like town.
Yeah.
And the parents of the girl wanted to speak to him because she wanted to know like what sort of like where and like what sort of situation she was in, like what did she look like when she was first found. And my cousin had to relive it all about 4 or 5 separate times. And then he told me like when I turned 16 or something, like he just decided to drop this little bit of lore on me. And I think he's convinced that he's being like followed by her the rest of his life because he just can't settle if there's like if it's too quiet. He doesn't like it. He thinks there's things gonna get him and stuff, and that scares me. That terrifies me.
Fuck.
Scotland is very, very haunted, and we have lots of like because of the age of the country as well. Everyone knows something spooky that's happened where they live. And I think that's just, it comes with the territory. Like, not that long ago, we had a helicopter crash into a pub in Glasgow where like 4 or 5 different people died. And even now, the pub is never that busy because people think they can feel the energy.
Ugh. Oof. Listen.
Yeah,
So heebie-jeebies, right? The woman crawls out of the crawl space. This was UK, 26. There's body cam footage. A woman calls police after hearing footsteps in her attic.
Yep.
She hears moving around. It's like 4 a.m. She lives alone. The cops arrive. They find a mattress. They find food wrappers in a fucking diary. And it wasn't a squatter. Wait for it. In the diary, they describe watching her sleeping. But the most fucked up part is there was no way into the attic from inside the house. So in the police report and the testimony, they couldn't even explain how anyone got in or out of that attic because it was sealed. But he was living in there. I don't know. Make it make sense. Food wrappers.
I don't like it.
How did you bring food in there? You know what I mean? Just how
did they were like sneaking down?
But it was sealed. It was completely sealed off from inside the house.
I don't fucking know. That's weird. I don't like that.
Right. There's always a way. Eating fucking
way. Like,
So Phoenix, Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
Operator, this is a retired operator interview with their dispatch logs. They get an elderly woman that calls them and says, someone's in my house. The line goes silent. The police arrive a couple minutes later. They find her dead in her fucking chair. She'd been dead for at least 6 hours before the call was made. The phone records show that The call came from her landline. They ran testing, forensics. Nobody touched the phone.
Maybe she just.
There was no the. There was no. No one else touched the phone.
Soul.
They said she was dead for 6 hours.
Oh, well, I
We
don't
got a
like that.
call that says someone was inside my house. She's dead in her chair.
I hate the whole, like, people being dead for a long time and then, like, phoning someone or, like, you know.
Yeah.
I hate that. I hate that. I hate it.
You know
Ugh.
what I don't hate?
What?
When it's the 1 hour mark and you paypal.me/Jujubee93 for spooky stories to tell with Cannoli After Dark.
Stories by candlelight.
Spooky stories, candlelight, Twin Peaks, maybe backstage jams over some Twin Cheeks, right?
No.
Who clapped them's his cheeks? Hear me
We
out.
can't be too serious now. We're gonna scare Supply.
Right. Oh shit, Supplies and M's hates phone calls, right?
That's actually true. If I have to phone someone, I like have to psych myself up and be like, "Hello." I don't like. If I could text the doctors, I would.
No doubt. No doubt.
I also just think it's really creepy how, like, have you seen the videos of people inside the what's it called? Like the Marianas Trench. You know how it's like an exhibit now.
Yeah. Mariana.
Mariana's horse or
Mary-
whatever it is.
Right.
Mary's on horse.
Mariana's Trench sounds like a vagina. I don't know.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah. Like
Apparently.
I've been inside Mariana's Trench a time or two. You won't believe what I pulled out. Anyways, Mariana's Trench, no doubt.
Apparently, when people go down there,
Thank you, Mel.
Yeah.
I hope it works.
me too. Apparently, when people go down there, they feel like they're like being touched.
Oof, I felt that before.
Like, not like a like a little like brushing, that they feel like they're being grabbed and pulled.
Oh, absolutely not.
Right down, and that. It's also one of the reasons why I will not be going.
Well, my dad, God rest his soul, touched by an angel, touched by a mutant, more like Mando. My dad was. This was before I was born. One of the houses my family had grew up in, or raised my sisters in. My dad was sitting at the table, and someone tugged his collar on his shirt and pulled his hair. No shit. Seriously, true story. True story. So I think you're gonna like this one. Detroit, Michigan. This is a former morgue technician interview.
Right.
He's doing paperwork by himself during the night shift. He walks past a cooler. In one of the small windows, it was fogged. He wipes it with his sleeve. A fucking face is staring back at him. Mouth open, pressed against the glass. The guy runs out of the fucking place. He brings another tech in. The freezer held the body of an old man that died that afternoon, and his body was still inside. But the frost pattern on the glass showed a face imprint from the inside. Isn't that fucking nasty? Imagine seeing a face staring back at you with that like dead mouth open kind of look. Oh god, it's like half open. Yeah, it's like not fully up. Damn, that was actually pretty good. You should be that for Halloween. Living Dead girl. That's crazy.
And that's gonna get like screenshotted. That's gonna get clipped. Oh, this is like really weird. There's another few that I know, but they're all about like murders.
I had my sheets several times at the house in town. Dude, Mel, that come on.
I don't like that.
Oh,
I don't like the fact that she got her sheets tugged. Hold on, to go plug my phone in.
all right, well, I'll tell another one while you
Yeah, I
guys are.
hear you. Yeah, you tell another one while I fuck
All
about.
right, 2014, Thailand CCTV video. Shout outs to CCTV. Security guard notices a woman come into the bathroom, never leaves it. 20 minutes goes by, he comes back, no one answers, he unlocks the door. Nobody's inside the fucking bathroom. When he goes back and watches the footage, the woman clearly walks in and never comes out. She fucking vanishes. It went viral in 2014. Fucking look it up. The locals said that the station was built on a former accident site. You tell me where that bitch went. You tell me where she went. Crazy.
Straight to
Like,
hell, I hope. That's spooky.
right. Damn.
Things were never the same again.
After you came and went, how could you say? Wait, what
Hold
are you
on.
doing? Patty said something. Try pulling me out of my bed.
Okay.
Ugh. Yeah, what's crazy is like a lot of these stories that I'm telling. She flushed herself down the toilet's crazy. She should
Ooh.
have Fatherland. So this one's in London. The source comes from an employee statement. Workers on the underground's downtime shifts will hear someone whistling. One of the janitors reported seeing a guy in reflective overalls saying the line's clear, safe to go. When they review the footage, there's no one in the fucking tunnel. However, the
You're
description of the
joking.
matched a maintenance worker who died on the tracks in 1985. Like, do you feel like when there's like crazy freak accidents or
Oh.
like you don't realize you're dead, kind of like a fucking like Sixth Sense kind of deal, where it's like you don't know you're dead because you died in such a violent or sudden way, just like a freak accident. Like, does that make sense?
I do believe there's like a point where, like, if you die in like a freak accident, that you are stood staring at yourself. Like it's
Oh
an out
god,
of body experience where you're like seeing
car
yourself in
accident,
a
like
person. I believe.
Patrick Swayze in Ghost, where like you're dead. I always wonder that too. I think like when we die, I don't even want this chicken tonight. See, I'm fucking up Supplies Friday. I'm sorry. A space time glitch.
It's
Well,
okay.
so let's. Do we want to dive into conspiracy?
Maybe.
Okay, this is one of my favorite ones, and it probably freaks me out the most. This is kind of piggybacking off what Mandel's talking about, that we're living in a simulation. Marcus just finished it. Or glitch reality.
I'd agree with.
Like a one like you have scientists, you have philosophers, you have all these people that talk about, yeah, matrix fodder. Exactly. Exactly. The holographic universe.
I believe that, like, I believe in the butterfly effect quite strongly.
That was a great movie.
That like everything's supposed to happen the way it happens, but one single thing that you can do can like
Can set
fuck it
a
all
collision
up
course across the world, yeah.
or make it
Well,
better.
well, one of my favorite conspiracies is that deja vu isn't a memory, but it's a glitch in the matrix. Julissa gets a lot of
Yeah.
Lisa gets a lot of deja vu. It wasn't. It's one of my favorite. It's probably Ashton
I
Kutcher's
think
best.
Jamais Vu is another one that really like, oh, that one scares
Like,
me a bit more than
like
Deja Vu.
describe deja vu. You know.
It's like feeling knowing you've done this before, or you've seen yourself do this before,
Yeah.
but not knowing when or how or what. Like It's just the feeling of
I've heard a few things. Memory misfire, right?
mhm.
That's kind of where your brain stores an experience and it makes you think it's long term instead of like a quick like short term. It gets confused, you know. Deja vu wears a weave. I went to school with a girl named Deja Mack was her name actually. There's the neural glitch.
You don't need to tell the girl's whole name.
Perce- oh no, Mac is just what she went by. I don't like. We called her Deja Mac. Her last name wasn't Mac. Some
Okay,
called her
okay,
Big.
okay.
Aaron says the stream is deja vu. I don't recall ever doing this. This is Ems wears a weave.
Untrue.
What? I like. Have you guys
Untrue.
seen? You know that Neuralink shit. The Elon Musk, the Neuralink. Do you know what I'm talking about?
The stuff that like the one that goes in your head.
Yeah, they've been
Is it a
implanting.
little circle that goes here?
Well, that's like Black Mirror kind of shit. But like this is like an implant.
Mhm.
Are you familiar with it or no?
It sounds familiar, but explain it.
Okay. So shout out to Alex Mack, right? The Goo Girl, Secret World of Alex Mack. Um, let me type this in. I want to make sure I get this correct. I don't want to give misinformation.
I'm gonna find the research I have.
Bro promised us Prospect and Faux Nights. Listen, Faux Paws unfortunately can't figure out how to turn on her cam and video, allegedly, which we know is a lie. And Prospect was here last night, but he was very drunk and he was doing a lot of gay shit. Okay, so Neuralink, it's a brain computer interface that translates neural signals into actions.
Mhm.
So you can control
That's
computers and other devices with your fucking thoughts. That's some Black Mirror shit.
I don't think that idea.
So like you could
Imagine
look
just
at a
thinking
door
about
and
someone.
open the door, play a video game with your mind.
Even then, I think it'd still be shit at Fortnite.
Right. I was playing Fortnite earlier. I was fucking shit. Oh boy. I won the Lulu. Anyways.
I believe it.
Fo has to
I
yeah, she needs
think,
to
yeah, she needs to learn the internets.
is
I think if
Neuralink
you
the
like,
sign of the beast?
I think Neuralink will be a thing in the far future, but right now, I feel like there'd be too much bullshit and like, you know, people would be fucking up with it. You know what I mean? Because imagine how dangerous it'd be. Because you could think like a really horny thought about someone, and your brain would be like, okay, we're gonna send that to them. We're gonna send that telepathically that you think they're hot. You're currently having a danger wank over them. You
Like
know?
being attracted, like feeling emotions that you aren't actually feeling, but the Neuralink is telling you to
Or like
feel. Or
also
like
if
what
you're one of those people that like want to feel your emotions quietly and by yourself, if you have a Neuralink and like your brain is basically controlling everything, what's stopping your what's stopping that fucking up and telling everyone in your surroundings how you're feeling? Like I have such a fear that someone has the ability to read minds and is reading my thoughts at every moment, and that scares me because I'd be thinking about some weird shit.
it's a scam, just a remote
Ugh.
TV. Like Ems, if we could come inside your brain right now,
Mhm.
what's going on in there? Is there a lot of cheese?
No, right now I'm thinking about the thrift store I'm going to tomorrow.
Well, that's boring.
I know, not interesting. But when I'm out and about, like I tend to just like zone out, especially when I'm driving. That's when my thoughts are the weirdest.
Kangar's comment. There's a secret Discord that's plotting against us all, finding each one of our weaknesses. You could be next supply. Candy, Joey's cock, Dave, food. That's pretty good.
Not far off. Apart from your cock, I don't think about that because that's weird. I
I
don't
don't.
think about dicks actually. I think about tits a lot, but most of them are my own.
Oh god.
You're telling me you wouldn't?
Anyways, right. What do you know about the Black Echo satellite?
Nothing. Tell me.
In the early 60s, radio operators were picking up these fucking signals that didn't match any satellite orbit at the time.
Mm-hmm.
It was changing speed. It was
Right.
like it was like a mathematical fucking like signal. It wasn't just a random signal. And
Right.
and they were claiming it was a prime number sequence, which are used to show intelligence, right?
Yeah.
You get these fucking astronomers claiming to see
Yeah.
a dark object moving into the fucking orbit, but it's not moving like normal satellites. And at the
Mm-hmm.
time, no countries had tech to put anything like that out there.
How long ago was this?
This takes place in the 60s, early 60s.
Like, so before the moon landing and shit.
They called it space junk was the quote.
Right.
But it's still transmitting. But in 2019, a group decoded a fragment of the signal.
Mm-hmm.
It circulated online for 24 hours before it completely disappeared. Do you know what the
Mm-hmm.
message was?
No.
We are waiting. ah, ah.
I also genuinely think that's scary. I don't like that. That's not what I was gonna say though. If if creatures from another planet, right? If beings from another planet, sorry, not creatures, if you can hear me. I didn't call you a creature. If people from a different planet were gonna come here, first off, do we not think they would have done it already if they were intrigued? Secondly, I don't think they're gonna be nasty. I think they're just gonna be interested and be like, what the fuck is this? You know?
Wasn't it on? I think I didn't watch The Big Bang Theory, but I'm sure it was. They're waiting for
Probably.
the command.
Like, ugh, I don't like this. This is fun.
I can say that the stuff Voyager 2 is transmitting right now. All right, I'll look that up. Voyager 2. I've heard about this.
I just think it's so weird. Time travel is definitely, like, if it's not already been invented right now, it's getting close to it.
I'm sure it already exists because time is a construct, right? So like time isn't real.
Yeah.
So how do we know the future hasn't already happened and someone hasn't already gone back?
Well, that's what I'm saying. So apparently, there's like depictions on like Egyptian tombs and stuff of a Nokia 3310.
Yeah.
And I'm like, first of all, time travel hasn't happened now. It happens in the future because then they can jump back. It definitely happens in the future, right? They jump back. Why the fuck are they taking a 3310?
I don't know.
Like,
Fuck.
but that's what I'm saying there. Maybe they're trained to blend in so well that we wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Like, they're trained on the year they're going back to. Like, think the Back to the Future movies, specifically the one where they go back to the Wild West. They get into costume. They act as like as and well in the time period as they can. I don't think like I feel like it probably has happened, but they just haven't came to. You know what I mean? Got my tinfoil hat on today.
Right. If there was time travel, we most likely know by now from someone coming back. It was Voyager 1, Joey. His phone's goofy. Time is circular, not linear, right? What up, Larmbowski? How you doing?
Everything
Larmbowski's
comes.
well, so like Voyager 2, like still is still transmitting. It's fucking 20 billion kilometers away. The signals are weak as fuck. It takes about 21 hours to travel one way at the speed of light. That's what it's saying. And
Mm-hmm.
it's the data that it's sending to the Deep Space Network.
Mm-hmm.
Oh fuck. Voyager 1.
Space scares me, but not in like a oh my god, aliens sort of way, just because
So
it's so big and so vast and we don't really know what's out
we
there.
don't
I
understand. I don't think
like
we're meant to understand. So dude, Voyager 1, September 5th, 1977.
mm-hmm,
They made it for Jupiter and fucking Saturn to study it.
mm-hmm.
It's the farthest human-made object from Earth. It's 26 billion.
Like my
Holy
brain
shit.
can't even comprehend how far away that is.
38
What I mean?
38,000 miles per hour. It's relative to the sun. So in this 79, there was a Jupiter flyby, 1980, a Saturn flyby, and then in 2012 the exit from the solar system and it entered fucking stellar space.
And just fucked off.
It's still transmitting data back to Earth from interstellar.
I I'm quite interested in Mars specifically because they've apparently found water on Mars, but like how they had the rovers on Mars,
Uh-huh.
the when the last rover died, like they stopped getting communication to it. They basically played loads of like sad songs to the rover
Oh,
to
fuck.
try and wake up because it was sound activated. So if like it did find anything or anyone on there, it would activate. Yeah,
Yeah, in case it's found, Aaron. What if it had our karaoke night and they played it and it woke up?
yeah, because of the rover,
Because of the
Marcus.
best night of the week. We might be living in a simulation.
I I don't know if we're living in the simulation like The Sims, but I definitely think everything that has happened to us right now has happened before. Like, I definitely think there's certain things that happens in history that are supposed to happen, and even if you went back and tried to change it, no matter what you changed, it would still happen. It would just be like a different person causing it, or a different way it happened, but it would still happen.
They played Haley Williams and the rover turned itself off.
That's exactly that's exactly it.
Neo Cannoli, right? Which pill are you gonna take? Take Plan B. Um, that's crazy.
But like, yeah. So I definitely think there's certain things in, you know, in the world that were supposed to happen, and that like history is always bound to happen. So like us talking right now, it has always happened, but it just happened a different way.
Multiverse of madness, huh?
Like like even the small chance that you found me on Omegle that night, that was bound to happen. It would have happened a different way somehow.
Damn.
Yeah, but
I,
that's
I
also
want.
just my beliefs.
I want to creep Supply out again.
Okay, go.
Supply, the Smurl haunting. This took place during 74 through 89 in Pennsylvania. They claimed the house was tormented by a demonic presence for a fucking decade. Okay. This is a fragrance stream. They
Is
said
it?
a foul sulfur-like odor would fill the fucking house. There'd be loud banging, scratches on the walls and the floors. Objects flew off the fucking shelves. The mother woke up with bruises she couldn't explain. That house is what inspired The Conjuring with Ed and Lorraine Warren.
You got a
Did you know
Discord message?
that I?
I didn't know that. That's weird. It's wild seeing how things like the real stories of what things are based off.
Well, that was the inspiration.
It's
Smurl, Smurl.
That's scary. I don't like
He said
that.
he felt watched constantly. The entity would target him. It's considered one of the most well documented alleged possessions in American history. All the different possibilities of your life being played out all at once. Yeah.
But there's multiple versions of you doing different things. Like, there's a timeline in which you don't start streaming, Joey,
Maybe.
and there's a timeline where I went to university, and you know, I'd probably be fucked if I know what I'd be, but it's just like wild.
We have 30 people are locked in.
They're
Can we
here for something.
let's leave a like on the video? Thumbs it up if you're enjoying it. You're here. I hope you're enjoying it. Montrese and Lawrence Fishburne. That's crazy. Heartfelt telling you it's called College.
Sorry,
So,
call.
have you ever seen the picture of Annalise,
Yes.
the girl that this took place during the 70s that was possessed by a demon? She was 21 years old. She was a German broad. She suffered from severe depression. She had epilepsy. Her and her fucking family were convinced that it was a demonic possession.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she did the deep voices. She screamed in different languages. Whenever they'd bring religious objects to her, she would reject them. She avoided holy water, crucifixes. She'd inflict, pain and scratches on herself. 2 priests performed 67 exorcism sessions in a year and believed that she was possessed by multiple demons. She eventually died from malnutrition and dehydration. And
So
they
they
were
basically
later,
just starved her out.
the parents and the priests were tried later for negligent homicide. That's where the exorcism of Emily Rose came from.
You know what?
You remember that movie?
Realistically, they did the best thing they could with that.
Well, you got to think mental illness misinterpreted as possession, or was it supernatural?
I think it was maybe a mix. I think for their time with the time period it was with the tools they had and where they were,
Mm-hmm.
I think
Correct.
they probably were 100%. This is a possession. Shut up, Darren J. Your sister wasn't complaining last night.
Sheesh.
Oh, I've lost my sweets. Hold on. Thank you. But
I'm fascinated by demonic possession and exorcism and shit like that. It's 2025. When was the last exorcism?
I don't know. Although, do you know the last beheading by guillotine happened the same year that the first Star Wars movie came out?
Did it? Damn. Off with their heads, I guess.
Yeah.
So here's what's fucked about exorcisms is that they're all done privately and they're not documented, which I think is so odd. Or at least not shared where we would know.
Definitely on the dark web, I think.
Yeah, Catholic churches keep those on the down low. Oh shit, bad nutritionless decisions. Nightwing, I hope your ass is healed for the atrocities you've caused. God bless you. Latin America, Africa.
It's so strange how do you know what I think is the most haunted part of the UK? It's either Edinburgh or London. Highly populated areas, both had serial killers around about the same time, might I add. And the whole Jack the Ripper case has always intrigued me as well. I can get into that in a minute. But they're definitely the most haunted places in the UK. Because they were heavily, especially London, the houses were so close together you could barely get fucking moving. And it was 20 to a room. And everyone was just killing. because they could, because the police were that shit. Like with Jack the Ripper, they say that Jack the Ripper apparently had bodily autonomy knowledge because they would disembowel and take the uteruses of the women that he killed. So he killed whores, essentially, like streetwalkers,
Oh shit.
ladies
Many
of the night,
horrors.
and he would kill them and take their uterus as a as his call sign, and he would also write like the letters, like the taunting letters he would send, wrote them in blood most of the time. So they think he was like a butcher or something, but they never caught him, like ever.
That's fucked.
And that scares me
What up,
because
Billy?
I know it happened in like the 1800s, but like
Right.
you're like surely you would get to your deathbed and you'd be like, I need to confess this.
So
That's also
Wisconsin
a theory.
Death Trip is a haunting real history book published in 73, cult classic, dark American history, true crime, shit like that. Um, this is it Leslie? Is it Leslie Dilly? Discovered a trove of 1890s photographs taken by Charles Van Schack. I probably destroyed that last name. He was a small town photographer in Black River Falls. I know where that is. Stern portraits, funerals, mental asylum patients, burn buildings capture a community going through a shockingly grim decade. He paired the photos with newspaper clippings from the local paper, the Badger State Banner, documenting real events such as suicides, murders, mysterious disappearances, mental breakdowns, barn burnings, arson. Wait, oh my God. Smallpox. What the fuck? It paints a portrait of a community spiraling into despair, insanity, and tragedy, almost unbelievable yet all historically recorded. Wisconsin Death Trip. They connect the death trip to several factors: economic depression, harsh winters, diseases, lack of mental health care. It's a landmark of American documentary storytelling. 1999, it was adapted into a film by James Marsh, who later won an Oscar. I'll have to. Yeah, fuck. Yeah, it's not horror fiction, it's real. Opening a cursed scrapbook that tells you its secrets. Ooh, that's fucking dope. What do you guys think of that?
But
Wisconsin Death Trip.
that was scary.
Did you hear everything I said about that?
I heard most of it, yeah, but I also like just as you started talking, I heard like a thud from upstairs.
Did you?
I think it was the cats playing because my parents are in bed.
Kobe
Oh, I don't
died
like.
the same year the Lakers won a championship in 2020. Only stay. Damn, Sapai, that's the spookiest one of all.
I'm trying to think of another one because there's quite a few that I know.
There's a story of a woman who randomly walks out of her house during the winter and they found her naked 10 miles away from her house. Cause of death was starvation.
Well, that is weird.
That's
I wonder where
fucked.
she was going.
I don't know. Maybe to get some food? Fuck. A
I
spike
quite
of
like.
suicides occurred during the 1890s. Murders were occasionally gruesome, sometimes between neighbors or within families. One account details a farmer who set fire to his house, killing his wife and children, a real event reported in the local papers. Barn fires and house fires were common, often suspected as arson. Industrial accidents and farming mishaps contributed to a general feeling of dread. Children were especially vulnerable to smallpox. Death was so common it became part of daily life, reflected in the papers. Reports of strange behavior, like people wandering in the woods naked or talking to imaginary figures. Occasional reports of deliberate vandalism or evil acts with little motive. Animals were featured in it. Pets dying, livestock vanishing, adding to the town's aura of misfortune. Charles Van's portraits are chilling because of the stark realism. Faces are expressionless, often serious or pained. Children, adults, and even corpses are photographs with the same quiet dignity. They create a sense of community. Ooh,
Do you know about the Sonny Bean
tell us.
clan? No?
Go on.
Okay. So this is like it's a notorious tale, but it could also be folklore. Like there's not lots on it, but everyone like knows about it, sort of thing. So it happened on the shores of the west of Scotland, and basically, I'm gonna read off my notes here.
Go ahead.
There was a clan, right, in Scotland, and it composed of Sonny Bean and his a large incestuous family. So basically, big family. They were all fucking each other, right? This was like years ago, like not these days. And he was brought to Edinburgh to be tried for his actions because this is horrific. So basically, they lived in a cave on the shores of Scotland for over 25 years, and they would only leave that cage to go out to kidnap people off the street, eat them. And that's their only sustenance. So not only were they cannibals, they were all going insane because it was said that
Oh,
the brain was their favorite bit. Now, if you eat a human brain, if you as a human eat a human brain, you go insane. That's like an immediate part of it. So they were captured by King James the Fourth, Sixth, Fourth
uh-huh.
of England, Scotland, sorry, and they were taken to Edinburgh and they were executed. They got a small trial, but it wasn't a lot of it. Like they basically go going, "Did you do this?" And they'd be like, "Don't care, Mwah. Death for you." So the men were dismembered. The women and the children were burned at the stake, but the men were dismembered. Like they just had their arms, their legs, and all that chopped off, and then they were just left to bleed out.
Jesus.
And basically, this also inspired The Hills Have Eyes. Have you seen that?
Of course.
This is what inspired it. Um, so they would. It has been said that they now haunt the streets of Glasgow and especially the Glasgow vaults. If you don't know what the Glasgow vaults are, it's basically like an underground tunnel system in Glasgow. No, Edinburgh, sorry. In Edinburgh, they basically go around in these tunnel systems underground and they're looking for their next victims and they're ready to like grab people. And people that have went on the tours down there have been like, oh my god, like they touched my shoulder, they tried to grab me, all this shit. But it was such like it's became like a fairy tale almost now. But like back in the day, people were genuinely scared of this incestuous group of people. And it took 400 men to find them. They basically sent out a massive search party on the shores lines looking for caves, being like, go get this bastard.
Damn.
Yeah.
Jesus. The witches of Salem escaped to Black River Falls. There's burial sites and everything there. Dude, Dilly, do you think like that had something to do with it? You know, was there witchcraft going on? I tried looking online for Wisconsin Death Trip. I can't find it anywhere. It used to be on Netflix. It's no longer on there. My grandma claims that Geen pulled her over while her and her brothers were walking home. He called them other and he was wanking. He called them mother. He called them mother and he was
Called them
wanking. Oh,
over.
he called them over. Jesus. Well, I've told this
I don't
story,
like
Card. My aunt worked right next to fucking what's his name? Jeffrey Dahmer at Ambrosia Chocolates.
I know that's not funny, but that's just a really strange place to find them.
King James Bible, right? The coup tunnels and none of my seat, right? Right. Oh, as above, so below, huh? Damn, I wonder if there's an audiobook.
I'm scared. I'm scared of the catacombs. I'm scared of underground.
That's some fuck
Especially
shit.
with like, see, going to like a mining town. and then going on like a mine tour. My mum loves a mine tour. That woman yearns for the mines, I'm telling you. And I just don't like it. Makes my tummy feel ill because people have died in there.
Right.
Like there's dead people.
Fuck.
Oh, Joey, I'm scaring myself. I need to go outside and like sleep in the dark and the outside now. You're
Well, we
scaring me.
it's 1 hour and 41 minutes. Should we wrap this up at 2 hours? Are you guys? I
It's a
heard that.
Friday stream. I don't think they're expecting a 3 hour long stream on a
I don't know. I mean,
Friday.
are you guys entertained? Are you bored? Do you like this? Are we doing a good job? What are we doing?
I like talking about Scottish folklore. That's my prerogative. It's what I bring to the table. A lot of people think that the sightings of the Loch Ness Monster have just been bodies floating up to the surface.
Supply says it's too scary.
Mm.
Also, so Pedway is in Chicago. Under the pedestrian tunnels and walkways beneath downtown.
Mm-hmm.
Shit's crazy. Fucking 5 miles of underground corridors. It's like a multi-layered
See,
infrastructure.
that scares me as well.
Dude, there's freight tunnels, fucking subterranean networks, all types of shit.
Hold on.
This is nice, but it would be nicer under a warm blanket with Mel. You're both good storytellers.
Hold on. There's just
Hell yeah, Darren. Yo, exactly. Shout outs to Derry. Shout outs to Pennywise. I agree, Dilly. Wisconsin's, you're basically living in fucking Derry. Maybe the scariest story of the night.
Would you like to hear about Tam O'Shanter?
Yeah, tell one more story and then I'll tell one and then we'll wrap up.
Good idea. Okay. So Tam O'Shanter was a drunken farmer and he was riding home late at night on his horse named Meg. And he was in Ayr. So Ayr is like west of Scotland, not quite on the water, but not quite not on the water. Like it has a beach, but it's quite far in. Like it's a big place. Anyway, so on his way home, he passes a haunted church, the Kirk of Alloway. And he sees a wild gathering of witches, and they're dancing with the devil, and the devil's playing the bagpipes because it's Scotland. And Tam is like amazed and in love, and he's just like, there's this really pretty witch, and she's dancing so energetically, and she's wearing a short skirt, and she's so like attractive, and she's just got this aura around her, right? And then he shouts out, "Well done, Cutty Sark," which is basically means "well done, girl in the short skirt." And then the witches and the warlocks and the devil basically chase him from the kirk all the way over a bridge, and he races all the way to the Brigadoon, which is a brig over the River Doon or the Loch Doon. It's just a little river. And then he gets to halfway across the bridge, and there's a thing on the keystone of a bridge, and there's like a folklore that a witch can't go over the keystone of a bridge. Like it can't pass, the witch or warlock can't pass over the keystone in a bridge because their magic will stop, and that's them passing over different territory. So if you see a bridge and it's got a big single rock or a big square brick in the middle of it, especially like an older bridge, if you're in the UK, if you're in the UK and you cross a bridge and it's got in the middle of the bridge, it's like a footbridge, has a massive stone, a massive brick. That's the keystone. That is the stone that witches and warlocks can't jump over to pass. So, yeah. So he jumps over it, but when he jumps over it, one of the witches grabs Meg's tail. And then Meg's tail was then used in witchcraft that then put a curse on Meg, and Meg died not that long after. And ever since he refused to go past that kirk. He wouldn't go down the pub with his friends. He basically spent the rest of his life mourning his Meg, his horse, and just really just trying to figure out what the fuck he saw that day. And then he, you know, he I'm getting distracted here. He apparently he
You better
tells his
laugh.
friends. He tells his friends, and his friends are like, "You're talking absolute bullshit." And then this goes down in like folklore history until Robert Burns hears about it. Now, Robert Burns, famous Scottish poet, wrote Auld Lang Syne, wrote a lot of really important poems and stories that we need to know. So then he wrote it into a poem and got it published, which then brought more, interest into it, and people tried to look into it. And now, if you go to Ayr, into the museums surrounding Ayr, there's always going to be a little bit of horsehair for Meg so that she can get her tail back. Yes, Marcus, because he was lonely. He didn't have a wife. His horse was his best friend. He cared for his horse more than he cared about anything in the world. He loved that horse. And it's, yes, there are poems. There was a cow in the poem as well. But
Well,
yes, that's Tam O'Shanter.
damn.
That one scares me. I heard Mel asking for the Loch Ness Monster as well. That's Scottish. There's not really much to say on that. It's a legend. People think that the sightings of Nessie were bodies that like rose to the top for the summer and then went back down in the winter, which is why there's only ever been a few sightings. But I don't know. That's not
I
really
would
my.
love to do a mafia get together at like a haunted place.
Oh my god! Yeah, we all go to the Cecil Hotel.
All right, there's Eastern State Penitentiary, which is in Philly, opened in
Yep.
1829. The Stanley Hotel, I wouldn't mind doing that. That's Colorado. The Queen Mary, California.
Oh my god! Can
Waverly
we please go in the
Hills
Queen Mary?
Sanatorium in Kentucky. We can see supply you coming with. Trans Lunatic Asylum. I don't think it was anything with anywhere but Black. Yo, Dilly, let's meet up in Black River, you and I. The Myrtles Plantation. I won't have supply go there out of respect. The Lemp Mansion, many of whom died by suicide. Apparitions, disembodied footsteps, and ghostly faces. The mansion's tragic history and continuing paranormal reports. The Lemp Mansion.
Do you know what the Kelpie is?
Carly says, "Wait, what about me?" You're a two
Oh
piece. You're
no!
Kanger. Summon BFL. The Limp Dick Mansion. Limp Discount. You got Trans Lunatic.
I've just been reminded of the Kelpies, and that one scares me a bit more actually.
The Lemp Mansion in St. Louis. They were a wealthy Bruin family, famous for Lemp beer in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. The family fortune came with a curse. Almost all of them suffered early violent deaths. Holy shit. So William Lemp Sr. ran the empire, died of heart failure. Well, that's common. But his death would start the family's spiral. Frederick Fred Lemp, his son, took over the brewery, committed suicide in 1901 due to stress. Charles Lemp, another son, died young under mysterious circumstances. William Billy Lemp Jr., who was the most famous, killed himself in the mansion after business pressure. The curse was wealth being ruined by tragedy. It sounds like the stress of running the business made them all check out. How you doing, Montrese? Guest and staff report figures, noises, doors opening. There's a man in a tuxedo wandering the halls that they think is Billy. Cold spots. The mansion is now a restaurant and inn, embracing its haunted reputation. They can dine in supposedly haunted rooms, and ghost hunters often visit at night. Paranormal tours highlight the family Sui's mysterious deaths and ghost sightings, making it one of the creepiest historic houses in the U.S.
Oh, that makes it that like puts a shiver up my spine.
It's just unaliving. That's crazy. Huh. Good to see you, Montrese.
Do you know what the Lorax is based on?
I was gonna make a joke. It's Dr.
What the ones
Seuss.
with the trees? Yeah. Do
I
you know what
was
it's
like,
based off?
I don't know where it's based on, but I know it's like the trees, the truffle of trees, and
It's the protector of the trees. He's based on the Geely Doo, which is like a male fairy that would sit in forests. Or not the Geely Doo. The Geely Doo, it was like a breed of fairy that would sit in the forests, and they each had a tree, and they would protect the trees, and they would basically just attack people that were going to cut
shit.
down trees. And it was such a fear for so long. Not Gelly. I know I'm saying not Gelly, but still, it's different. He would basically attack people that were going to cut down trees, and this became such an issue that people started using different, or such a fear. Sorry, not an issue. People started using different materials to build their houses with. So people would be using like fucking dirt and, rocks
Fucking through
instead
the
of
big style.
like they're just terrified of this tiny little fucking fairy. And let me tell you, they did not sound like um
Hell yeah,
what
Montrese.
what is the sorry, I've completely forgot my train of thought there because I read that comment. What was I saying?
You were breaking down they were making houses out of dirt and rocks and shit.
Oh yeah, because the fairy sounded nothing like it was depicted in the Dr. Seuss books. Like
Well, a lot
it
of those
wasn't funny. It was
children's stories had
I'm gonna kill you.
really dark history. You know,
Yeah.
London Bridge is falling down, right?
Was about the fire of London, I think.
Right, but instead it's a
Ring
nursery.
me, ring me a rosy, a pocket full of
Yeah, yeah.
posies.
Why?
It's a,
Ashes,
that's a
ashes.
big plague.
Why are we like reciting like evil fucking dark history as children's fucking nursery rhymes? Some dark
I
shit.
think it's because when you're little, you don't know what the plague is. You don't understand the concept. It's just fun
Why
little
are you?
songs.
I guess, but why? Like, right, Last of the Wild Men. So the Bell Witch from Adams, Tennessee. This is going back to the early
I
1800s.
thought you were about to say the Belschnickel, and I saw Dwight in my head.
We got 5 minutes. So the Bell family experienced a bunch of strange shit in their house, like knocking and scratching, objects moving. Claimed it was a witch. The witch began speaking to the family, cursing them, and even physically attacking members, especially the father. There's a lot of theories about people claiming that it was a poltergeist. Other people were blaming like a neighbor. But
Hmm.
the creepiest fucking like fact is John Bell, the father, died after repeated assaults from the invisible fucking entity.
Oh my god.
And witnesses claimed that that entity haunted the land for years afterwards. The Bell Witch from Adams, Tennessee.
I don't like that.
It's
I don't
funny how
like
like
that.
the 1800s and like it was a lot of witch stuff. You don't,
Well, they were,
you
they
know,
were
where are the
people
witches
concerned
today?
about it. Well, witches are like people are like, oh, I'm a witch, and they're like putting sage everywhere, and that sort of thing. I
Right.
think it's because because of the Salem witch trials specifically, because the majority of the women that supposedly died in the Salem witch diary.
Hmm.
Also, Ron, we do have a dictionary. It's called the Scots Dictionary. Um, Scots is a language itself.
Oh shit, Marcus.
Um, so a lot of the women that supposedly died in Salem in the Salem witch trials, they actually didn't die in Salem. They died outside of Salem. But because it was so close to Salem, they just call it the
They just
Salem witch
attached
trial.
Salem witch trials. Yeah.
Yeah, because of like, part of it. But I think a lot of why we don't have such a fear towards the witches these
Witches are
days,
dillies.
apart from
Yeah.
Billy, apparently.
Right. Dillies. So I wanted to talk. Let's save. Shall we do this again? If you're always welcome.
100%
MZ,
this next week.
you're always welcome, MZ. You know that. But if other people want to hop on and tell stories, even if it's just one, should we actually do this again? I had a lot of fun. I'm
I think
really
this should
into
be.
this weird shit.
If
Did you
we're doing
guys?
this again, I would like to know so I can actually have things prepared because I'm going off the fly here. I'm trying to use my big girl memory, and
Should
it
we have
doesn't work.
done a third karaoke stream for Supply?
I think you should sing him a song as the outro just to let him sleep better at night.
Well, next week I want to talk about UFOs, specifically Skinwalker Ranch.
I was gonna bring up Skinwalkers because Pongo was like making weird dream noises, and it reminded me of it.
With guidelines, right? A lot of which stuff was mental illness. People didn't understand back
Yep.
then. Yeah, exactly.
Like, you would be called a witch if you were friends with animals. You understood plants and you knew how to, like, you knew what plants were remedies. If you even muttered to yourself, like, if you spoke out loud while you were doing something, you know how sometimes you'll be like, I don't know, chopping an onion and you'll just be talking to yourself, or you'll be talking to yourself in the store, like, do I need this? Is this the one I need?
Well, Billy says there's certain things we shouldn't talk about. Ooh,
Yeah, there's certain things that you will bring upon yourself if you speak of it.
really?
Hmm.
Well, if
But,
that's
like,
the
you would be
case,
called a witch for anything back then. Like, if you had a pet cat, witch. Like, I would be dead by now for just owning Dave and Cora.
I think, yeah, I could see that.
You'd be a warlock because of Binks.
Am I built like a warlock?
You're built like a bitch.
Well, that was MZ go- joining the block party.
Bitch.
You want? I'd like an apology. I started choking when I typed that. Dilly, stop! I'm gonna get scared. Ignorance is bliss for real. That's what. Don't laugh at that, guys. That's not fucking funny. Come on.
You know what I think is really quite nice as well is I'm not used to being able to speak this low.
I
And
know.
like
I
usually
like
I'm very animated.
talking like this.
Usually I'm very animated and I'm very
Yeah,
like
me too. Me too. But I kind of like slowing it down a little bit. Can warlocks be corpulent? I don't know, Darren. Why don't
I
you tell
think
us?
realistically warlocks were very corpulent and folklore because they would eat children.
Hmm. Yo, that's spooky as fuck, Harley. I don't want to hear that. Dilly choking. So, last story. And actually, no, we hit the 2 hour mark. Ladies and gentlemen, drop a 69 in the chat if you enjoyed the stream. Be sure to leave a like. I hope you guys have a wonderful fucking weekend. Go outside. Enjoy time with your loved ones, with your family.
Go
The
fight
holidays.
some demons.
And don't forget to paypal.me/JujuBean93, guys.
Put it right there.
Put it right there. Because if you don't,
The bad man's gonna get you.
so awesome.